Bunu mu giyeceksin?
Evet, uygun bulmadın mı?
Yo, aksine çok yakıştırdım. Güzel olmuş. Ama sanki tek taş küpelerine daha iyi olurdu gibi. Neyse, sen bilirsin. Ha. Hadi kızım, anneye geçirelim biz de.
Bir şey olursa ararsınız beni. Zaten yakınlarda olacağım. Çok da geç kalma.
Emotional investment, and social media debate as Kızılcık Şerbeti. Since its debut, the series has built a remarkably loyal audience around its complicated family relationships, cultural conflicts, romances, betrayals, unexpected departures, and dramatic twists. But as the series approached its fifth season, one question suddenly became louder than all the others. Is Kızılcık Şerbeti actually ending? The question did not emerge without reason. Ahead of the fifth season, several important cast changes became the subject of intense discussion. The departures of familiar faces, particularly Feyza Çivilek, who played Nile, and Teren Karakoç, who played Nursema, caused viewers to wonder whether the series was losing too many of its established characters. Social media quickly transformed those concerns into much bigger claims. Some posts suggested that the fifth season could be extremely short, while other rumors went even further and claimed that the series itself might be preparing to leave television permanently. The speculation became so widespread that fans began searching for a definitive answer from the production team. That answer has now come from producer Faruk Turgut. And according to reports published on August 13th to 14th, 2026, the message from the producer is clear. The series is not ending with the start of season 5. Instead, the production is preparing to return to the screen. Turgut reportedly rejected the circulating claims that Kızılcık Şerbeti had been cancelled or was about to end. He also provided concrete information about the beginning of filming and the expected broadcast date of the new season. That statement has changed the conversation completely. The issue is no longer simply whether Kızılcık Şerbeti will return. The bigger question has become, what will season 5 look like after so many changes? The final rumors that created confusion. The latest wave of speculation began after a series of cast departures and reports surrounding the upcoming season. For longtime viewers, the departure of a character is never just a casting development. In a series as heavily driven by family relationships as Kızılcık Şerbeti, removing a familiar character can completely change the emotional structure of the story. That is precisely why the exits of important names created concern. Reports highlighted the departure of Feyza Çivilek, known for her role as Nile, and Teren Karakoç, who portrayed Nursema. Other cast changes were also reported, adding to the feeling that season 5 could represent a major reset for the drama. As these developments accumulated, social media users began asking whether the production had lost too many of its original elements. Some fans interpreted the departures as evidence that the series was approaching its natural conclusion. Others believed the opposite. They argued that the show had already demonstrated an ability to rebuild its story around new characters and new conflicts. Then came one particularly striking claim that the fifth season might consist of only 9 episodes before the series ended. That rumor generated considerable attention. But there was a problem. There was no clear official confirmation supporting the claim. Instead, it spread primarily through social media and entertainment discussion channels. This distinction is important. A rumor repeated thousands of times can begin to look like established information, even when it has never been confirmed by the production company or broadcaster. The intervention from Faruk Turgut therefore became particularly significant. Faruk Turgut breaks his silence. Faruk Turgut's latest statement effectively addressed the central question that had been troubling viewers. According to reports, the producer directly denied claims that Kızılcık Şerbeti was ending. More importantly, he supplied specific information about the fifth season. Reports state that filming for Season 5 is scheduled to begin on August 25th, 2026, while the series is expected to return to television on September 18th, 2026, with its 139th episode. Those dates are important because they move the conversation beyond speculation. A production preparing to begin filming and return with a numbered new episode is clearly not being presented as a show that has already been cancelled. The producer's statement therefore provides a strong answer to the immediate question: no, Kızılcık Şerbeti is not ending before Season 5. The 5th season is moving forward. However, that does not mean every aspect of the series will remain unchanged, and that is where the real drama begins. Season 5 is coming, but it may feel like a new era. The 5th season is expected to be one of the most transformative periods in Kızılcık Şerbeti. The reason is simple. The series has reached a point where several long-running character relationships have changed simultaneously. When a television drama loses one major character, writers can usually rebuild around that departure. When several important characters leave around the same period, however, the entire balance of the story can shift. This means Season 5 could feel very different, even though the series itself continues. That difference is not necessarily a sign of weakness. In fact, long-running television dramas often survive precisely because they know how to reinvent themselves. Kızılcık Şerbeti has already demonstrated that ability. Over its previous seasons, the series repeatedly introduced new characters, created new family conflicts, changed romantic relationships, and moved established characters into unexpected situations. The 5th season appears likely to continue that tradition. Instead of asking whether the series is ending, viewers may therefore need to ask, can the show remain successful after such major cast changes? That is a much more interesting question: why the departure of Nilay became so important. Feyza Çivilek's Nilay was one of the characters who became deeply connected with the identity of the series. Nilay was not simply another member of the large ensemble. Her relationships with Mustafa, the Ünal family, and the wider family structure gave the writers numerous opportunities for conflict and humor. She could be dramatic, unpredictable, emotional, manipulative, vulnerable, and entertaining depending on the circumstances. That complexity helped make her memorable. Therefore, reports about Çivilek's departure naturally caused strong reactions among viewers. For some fans, losing Nilay meant losing one of the show's recognizable personalities. For others, however, it created an opportunity. A character departure can force writers to explore relationships that had previously remained in the background. It can also create space for new characters to become central. The producers now have to answer an important creative challenge. How do you replace a character who was not merely part of the cast, but part of the show's established emotional ecosystem? There may not be a direct replacement. Instead, the writers could create an entirely different dynamic. That may be the key to Season 5. Nursema's departure creates an even bigger story question. The reported departure of Seren Karakoç is perhaps even more significant because Nursema had one of the show's most developed character journeys. Nursema's story touched on family expectations, personal independence, relationships, social pressure, and the struggle between individual desires and traditional structures. Her journey resonated with many viewers because it was not simply a romantic storyline. It was also about identity. Over the course of the series, Nursema developed considerably from the character audiences first encountered. That evolution made her departure particularly meaningful. If Nursema is no longer part of the central narrative, the writers must find another way to represent the emotional themes that her character carried. This does not necessarily mean the series will abandon those themes. On the contrary, the departure could allow another character to inherit some of those narrative functions. But the transition will be watched closely. why multiple cast departures do not automatically mean a series is ending. This is one of the biggest misunderstandings surrounding long-running television dramas. A cast change and a series cancellation are two completely different things. A television production can lose several actors and still continue successfully. In fact, some of the longest-running dramas in television history have gone through major cast transformations. The question is not simply how many actors leave. The question is whether the writers can create compelling reasons for viewers to remain emotionally invested. That means the success of Season 5 will depend on several factors: the quality of the new storylines, the strength of the remaining cast, the introduction of new characters, the chemistry between established and new actors, the pace of the narrative, and the ability of the writers to create fresh conflicts without repeating old ones. The latest announcement from Farrokh Turgut confirms that the production itself is moving forward. What remains uncertain is how audiences will respond to the transformation. The 139th episode becomes a symbol of continuation. The announcement surrounding episode 139 is especially important. A television series reaching such a high episode number is already a sign of extraordinary longevity. For viewers, episode 139 will carry an additional meaning. It will not simply be another installment, it will represent the beginning of a new phase. The fourth season concluded after a dramatic run, leaving several major story questions unresolved. The fifth season therefore has the difficult task of answering those questions while simultaneously introducing new material. That balance is never easy. If the writers spend too much time resolving old stories, the new season could feel like an extended conclusion. If they move too quickly into completely new material, viewers may feel disconnected from the characters and relationships they have followed for years. The ideal solution will probably be a combination of both. The fourth season finale left the door wide open. The fourth season finale was designed in a way that created considerable uncertainty. Instead of providing simple closure, the story left viewers with numerous questions. This is one reason the finale was so effective in generating anticipation for Season 5. A good season finale does not necessarily answer every question. Sometimes it creates more questions. That appears to have been the case here. The audience was left wondering about the future of several characters, their relationships, and the consequences of major events. Now, those questions will become the foundation for the new season. That means Season 5 does not have to start from zero. The writers already have a large amount of narrative material available. The challenge is deciding which stories deserve the most attention. The biggest challenge: rebuilding the emotional balance. One of the most difficult aspects of ensemble dramas is maintaining balance. A show can have 10 important characters, but viewers usually develop stronger emotional attachments to certain individuals. When those characters disappear, the audience's attention can shift. That creates both a risk and an opportunity. The risk is that viewers may feel the series is no longer the same show. The opportunity is that previously secondary characters can become central. Season 5 may therefore need to redistribute narrative importance. Characters who previously occupied supporting positions could receive larger storylines. New relationships could develop. Unexpected alliances could emerge. And old rivalries could take new forms. This could produce a version of Kızılcık Şerbeti that feels familiar enough to retain its identity while being different enough to remain interesting. What does Farrokh Turgut's statement actually mean? It is important not to overinterpret the producer's announcement. His statement establishes one crucial fact. Season 5 is proceeding. It does not necessarily tell viewers how many seasons the series will ultimately have. It does not guarantee that the drama will continue indefinitely, and it does not mean that future changes are impossible. television productions are always subject to ratings, scheduling, production decisions, contracts, audience response, and creative considerations. Therefore, the most accurate interpretation is straightforward. The immediate final rumors have been rejected, and Season 5 is being prepared. Anything beyond that remains a matter for future announcements. This distinction is particularly important because entertainment rumors often turn one confirmed fact into a much larger conclusion: the September 18th return date. According to the latest reports, viewers are expected to see the series return on September 18th, 2026, with episode 139. That gives fans a clear date around which anticipation can build. The period between the end of one season and the beginning of another is often filled with speculation. Actors share photographs, fans analyze interviews. Entertainment outlets publish casting reports. Social media accounts circulate alleged spoilers, and every small detail can become the subject of intense discussion. This year, that process has been even more intense because of the cast departures. The September return therefore represents more than the beginning of another season. For many fans, it will be the moment when they discover whether the new version of the series can live up to the previous 4 seasons. August 25th, the return to the set. Before viewers see episode 139, the production has another important date. The 5th season is reportedly scheduled to begin filming on August 25th, 2026. This means the production team has only a limited period to complete preparations before the reported September 18th broadcast. The start of filming is also likely to generate a new wave of entertainment news. Photographs from the set may begin appearing, new cast announcements may emerge, actors could reveal their new looks. Production-related details may become public, and fans will inevitably analyze every available clue. For a series surrounded by so much speculation, the first days of filming could become an important source of information. New characters could become the key to Season 5. Whenever an established character leaves a long-running series, new characters become particularly important. A new character does not need to imitate the person who departed. In fact, trying to recreate an old character can be a mistake. Instead, the writers need to introduce personalities who bring something different. That could mean a new family entering the story, a new romantic relationship, a new business conflict, a new generational struggle, or a new social issue. The strength of Kızılcık Şerbeti has always been its ability to turn interpersonal disagreements into larger dramatic conflicts. Season 5 can continue that tradition. The new characters may therefore not be replacements. They may become the beginning of entirely new story arcs. Why fans should not treat every social media claim as official. The latest controversy also demonstrates how quickly television rumors can spread. A claim appears on one account. Another account repeats it. A third account adds additional details. Eventually, thousands of people are discussing the claim as though it were confirmed. This phenomenon is particularly common before a major season premiere. Fans are eager for information. Entertainment pages compete for attention, and dramatic claims naturally receive more engagement than ordinary updates. A headline saying Season 5 is continuing is less likely to go viral than the show will end after 9 episodes. That creates an incentive for sensational claims. For viewers, the safest approach is to distinguish between confirmed production statements, reported entertainment news, and unverified social media rumors. The latest statement from Faruk Turgut belongs to the first category and therefore carries considerably more weight regarding the immediate future of the production. What viewers can expect from the new season? Although detailed story information should be treated cautiously until official promotional material is released, the circumstances surrounding Season 5 allow several broad expectations. First, the new season will probably need to address the consequences of the fourth season finale. Second, the absence of several familiar characters will naturally alter the family dynamics. Third, new faces are likely to become increasingly important. Fourth, existing characters may receive larger roles. And fifth, the writers will probably attempt to create new conflicts capable of sustaining the series beyond its previous story structure. The most exciting possibility is that Season 5 could become a transitional season. Instead of simply continuing the same narrative, it could serve as a bridge between the original era of the series and a new chapter. Could Season 5 be the final season anyway? This is the question some fans may still ask. Faruk Turgut's statement does not establish that Kızılcık Şerbeti will continue for a sixth season, seventh season, or beyond. It establishes that Season 5 is happening. That distinction matters. A show can return for another season and later receive a final season announcement. But that is very different from claiming that Season 5 is already a short farewell season. At present, based on the latest reports, the claim that the series is ending before or immediately at the start of Season 5 has been rejected by the producer. Therefore, viewers should wait for official future announcements rather than treating speculation as confirmation. The importance of ratings. Ultimately, television decisions are strongly influenced by audience performance. Kızılcık Şerbeti has established itself as a major Turkish television drama, but Season 5 will still face a new challenge. A changed cast means a changed audience equation. Some viewers may remain loyal regardless of departures. Others may become less interested. At the same time, new viewers may discover the series because of new characters and new storylines. This makes the first episodes of Season 5 particularly important. If the new season successfully maintains audience interest, the cast changes may eventually become a distant memory. If viewers reject the new direction, the production could face a much more difficult situation. That is why the fifth season is more than another chapter. It is also a test of the show's ability to reinvent itself. The emotional connection with the audience. One reason Kızılcık Şerbeti has survived so many dramatic developments is the emotional relationship it has created with its viewers. Fans do not simply watch the series, they debate characters, they choose sides, they discuss relationships, they criticize decisions, they celebrate reconciliations, they react to departures, and they speculate about what will happen next. That emotional investment is a valuable asset for the production. Even when viewers are angry about a storyline, they are still talking about it. That means controversy itself can sometimes keep a show culturally relevant. The current final rumors are a perfect example. Instead of disappearing from public discussion during the summer break, Kızılcık Şerbeti has remained a major topic because audiences are intensely interested in its future, the future of the Ünal family.